despite being historically slower than their F1 cousins, this season's going by in a blur. After this, we'll be at the halfway point of the 2022 Formula 2 season. And even though, again, they might be slower, we're still going to be yearning for speed. We are here today for the Baku event here in Azerbaijan with the longest straight in Formula 1. It is twice the length, of course, of the Shanghai back straight. And that's quite apparent because maybe in the next couple of years we'll be talking about the return of the Chinese Grand Prix after many years away. But all the news this weekend has been about Kali Meyer, and not just on the track either. Off the track, she's had a biggest boost to her possible Formula 1 hopes. Not just Monaco, but most of her season's eye-opening performances have finally caught the eye of an F1 team. Audi Sport F1. Ironic they may be, because of course that's the team that her brother is driving for. And what's even more ironic than that, it was here at this stage in 2021 that Aiden Jackson arrived on the scene. We are in for some more news as it comes. And first we'll go through the grid today, or at least the sprint race portion of it. It's going to be Enzo Fittipaldi on reverse grid pole, but Liam Lawson is continuing his magnificent form, grabbing his, I think, second or third pole in a row now, as he really is getting into a good vein of form. And Frederick Vesti, for the first time this season, actually up towards the front of the grid for tomorrow's sprint race. But today on the front row, it's going to be Enzo Fittipaldi, Jack Doohan and Logan Sargent at the front. And an honourable mention also to Tatiana Calderon, who will go from 6th. But we're in for some more overtaking. Why is that? Because Kali Meyer qualified last. So in a week where she's been all over the news, she decides to make more for herself and make it a bit more difficult perhaps, starting at the very back of the grid for both these races. Of course, as we know now, that's not so much of a worry for her anymore, given how many cars she passed in the whole Monaco weekend. So, keep an eye on her for this entirety of this weekend, because we could add up her passing move quota by the end of the weekend. And another shot is championship rival Richard Forshaw. He also had a pole qualifying down there in 19th, as you can see. So we've got two championship contenders at the back of the grid for both races. So this is going to be rather fun. And this is a perfect situation for Liam Lawson, who is a race win behind Kali in the standings after a brilliant Monaco feature race from him in particular, but also a brilliant Monaco feature race for just the race itself. And I think that it's fair to say that Monaco by far was the most enjoyable weekend of F2 this season, because sadly most of the races have been processions due to the equal spec nature of the cars. That's really no one's fault, it's just the way the sport is. But I think there was a lot of people saying, can Kali Meyer go towards the back of the grid and give us some action in these races? Well, she is duly delivered, I guess. I don't think she intended it, let's face it. Starting from last today, and as we said last year, Aiden Jackson, her brother, made a name for himself and arrived on the F1 scene last season with a tremendous drive in the Haas, almost getting to a point, but sadly the car wasn't up to scoring it. And of course, Aiden Jackson in the first 4 corners had passed a plethora of cars with that awesome start he had. And we know that Kali Meyer is very similar in her starts as well. Tremendous starts as Monaco proved. So I think the race camera director will be going straight to her at the back rather than at the front for Enzo Fittipaldi. And what a day for Enzo Fittipaldi here to maybe grab his first win in Formula 2 and put the Fittipaldi name back on top of the F1 format kind of racing, even though he probably did that in F3 for the most part too. He's no stranger to not winning, of course. And a very odd weekend for Amuyu Iwasa, who all of a sudden is kind of falling off. He's starting 21st today. He was one of the drivers towards the front at the start of the year, and maybe looked to be in championship contention after getting, I think, the first couple of poles of the year. But Cordia was sadly fallen off lately, and now he starts 21st. So again, probably need to look out for him for the rest of the whole of the race as well. And like I said, good days for Logan Sargent, for Tatiana Calderon. Tatiana Calderon just scored her first points of the season. I think she's already scored Formula 2 back in her first appearance in 2019. As they come and line up at the back with Callie Mayer at the very back, which probably means we're going to get a lot of overtaking in this race. Let's find out then. Here come the 5 red lights ahead of the drivers and the green flag at the back. You know what happens. It's lights out, and away we go. And how is the start here? It looks like Jad Dewitt actually got away better and may lead it to turn 1. Callie is up against the wall already, and she is going to pass a plethora of cars into the first corner. She duly delivers, already up to 14th place. That's 8 cars in one corner for Callie Mayer, and she's going to go for more as well. She's going to go for 1 or 2 more on Armstrong and maybe Dragovic, who's been passed by Sato at the front. Fittipaldi leads from Jack Dewitt, so it looks like Fittipaldi got a better second phase of the start, as Callie Mayer is already around the outside of Dragovic. She switches to the inside, a la Nigel Mansell with a fake out, and is she going to get it? Yes, she is. Of course she is. That's P12. That's 10 places in 3 corners for Callie Mayer already. Fittipaldi leads for Jewett, Sargent, Iwasa, Calderon, Callum Williams, J.R. Derulo, Teo Porcher. That is your top 8. The big loser at the start is... No, that's not Frederick Bestie. That's my apologies. That's because he was second in the feature race tomorrow. Lawson is 10th. No points for 10th place for Liam Lawson, but he has no worries because Vershaw is down in 20th. The one person he has got to worry about is Callie Mayer, and she could be coming on in very quickly because she's already up into P12. And chasing Marino Sato in the Virtuosi car. It's an understudied start by Callie Mayer, already up 8 places and being pursued by Dragovic. And the reason why we don't stand back in awe for this one is because we expect it now from Callie Mayer. Like we said, Aiden Jackson last year did something similar by passing a plethora of cars. What was it, 14th from last? I think it was the same start actually. I'm pretty sure it was like 14th from last for Aiden Jackson as well. So it's almost a mirror copy of last year. And enter Fittipaldi's on fire, already a second clear of Jack Dewitt, and we're not going to enter DRS until the end of the next lap. So Fittipaldi's decided to get on with it on those medium tyres. Of course, everyone's starting on the medium tyres. And it'll be interesting to see if we get the infamous F2 tyre bug in the feature race. No doubt we will, because it's never been patched. And there's Liam Lawson, I think, or one of the Red Bull cars. I think it may have been Deruvala being pursued by Porcher. Vesti is battling side by side with Lawson, but unfortunately for Lawson, Vesti was able to hold on there. Let's have a look at the start from Callie Mayer. She was mostly up against the wall. She went to the left, right up against the wall, got herself some space. It was right up against the wall as it was a 3 wide going into turn 1. She somehow got through all that and passed Clement Novalak. And in the other MP Motorsport car, his teammate was of course Fittipaldi Dragovic, who was right here, who was side by side with Sato. Did he get out of safe? No, Callie just probably had the better exit coming out of the corner. So what's happened here? Yeah, Callie goes to the outside. I think Dragovic comes back and then fakes out to the inside, a la Nigel Mansell and Nelson Piquet back in the 80s. And she passed Dragovic and up into 12th, where she currently resides at the moment, but she's probably not going to be there for too long. She's already down the inside of Sato, not close enough there into that corner. That would have been a very brave move, but we know Callie Mayer can be audacious with her passing move. She's going to try here as well. She's all over Sato as rear wing in the Virtuosi car. She is not going to be behind him for long. A point from this position would be absolutely humongous for Callie. It won't count for much in the championship standings because Lawson, of course, is out of the points anyway, so she's only going to get a point on both of those. She can get there. We've got Dennis Hauger falling down for the field, and that's why he's going slowly. Has he got a... Oh, no, he's got an engine failure for Dennis Hauger. There's been a lot of engine failures so far this year, and Dennis Hauger is the latest in that line in the Prema. So not a good day for Prema. J.R. Deruvala is up in 7th, grabbing 2 points, but Dams and... I think there was a 1-point lead between them and Trident, wasn't it? At the end of the Monaco race. Although Dennis Hauger, to be fair, did finish 2nd. And that was after he pitted for a front wing. And obviously, everyone else ahead of him had to pit. and he passed Callie Mayo on the penultimate lap. And of course, she fell out of the race with 2 tyre punctures trying to get her way to the end. And in the middle of all that, I think she passed Sato around the inside. She went past the green flag zone, so there's no fears of her getting a penalty with the yellow lap. Oh, there's another flag there. I think it was green. So she does pass Sato in the green flag zone, so that is a clean pass, and that's her to 11th. Liam Lawson, here comes Callie Mayer. And look at that, just right on cue. There she is, right on Liam Lawson's rear wing. This is not going to be long for this one, folks. Callie Mayer already getting some tremendous speed out of that final section there. She's been pretty good there, but she lost a lot of time in the qualifying session in the middle part of the lap beforehand. But Downs has been really nippy down this straight. Not nippy enough for Callie Mayer to look at Liam Lawson, however. So Teo Porcher in the ART is the last of the point scorers at the moment. And this is going to be a DRS train drag race in this one, because of the long straights, especially the start-finish straight. Twice the length of Shanghai's back straight, which we'll be hoping going back to in a couple of years' time. We've missed the place. And a bit of jockeying for position perhaps and looks, but nothing really more than that. Honourable mention here to Logan Sargent. He's hanging on to Jack Doohan in the Virtuosi car. If he can stay there, he might get some DRS assistance and maybe pass Doohan, because Fittipaldi is checked out and gone, over a second clear of the Virtuosi car at the moment. Virtuosi, nice car colour liveries today in their light blue. They're very noticeable. Very nice looking car. So here's Callie Mayer, another 11 places in 4 laps. She's going for a bit of a record here, I assume. How many more is she going to pass this season? A bit of a struggle there in third gear if you heard the gearbox there. But she's okay. She's hanging on to Liam Lawson ahead. So I almost thought that Frederick Vesti had dropped to 9th, but of course he's there from the sprint race. Or the sprint not the sprint qualifying, but the qualifying session, of course, of top 10 in reverse with the sprint race. So I kind of confused myself there for a moment. That would have been very unfortunate, because Frederick Vesti has been one of the more unlucky ones this season. Not really been able to get it together. Been mostly out of position at the back for the opening rounds. But here this weekend, he's finally found his groove and sweet spot. And he'll be P2 for the feature race tomorrow. Liam Lawson will be on pole position, chasing another feature race win. It'll be his 3rd in a row, following Spain and Monaco if he does pull it off. And I think it's fair to say that Liam Lawson is more or less in this championship battle, but today he's got to try and stop Callie Mayer from scoring, which could prove to be an impossible task, because Callie does not mess around in DRS trains for that long. She's already got the fastest lap of a 2-minute 2.1, and I believe even if she's in the top 10 in the sprint race, if she doesn't get into the top 8 points playing positions, she will still get the extra point for the fastest lap if she's 9th or 10th. So right now, Callie just needs to finish where she is, and she'll get a point anyway. If she can get up to Porcher and Vesti, she'll get 2. Well, it's not really the be-all and end-all for Liam Lawson, because Richard, for sure, as we said, is out of the points. Callie's probably going to go into the lower point-scoring positions, although I think on this evidence she might win the race. We have had a double winner finally in Formula 2 with Liam Lawson, absolutely dominating the Spain weekend. Shout out to Tatiana Calderon here, definitely having an upper weekend than usual, and she's in the points. So I think with Tatiana Calderon scoring here, I think that leaves Jake Hughes. If she scores here, that leaves Jake Hughes as the only scorer left on 0, or the only driver left on 0 points. And Jake Hughes is currently in P17. So that'll be really unfortunate for Jake Hughes in the Van Amersfoort racing car, who we said Maury Cordio had a decent start to the year, grabbing pole position, but lately he's fallen off a cliff, more or less, sadly for him. So the question now remaining in this race is, will Callie Mayer get into the points? And on this evidence, you probably have to say she's a lock for it. It's not the be-all and end-all for sure Lawson though, because she's probably not going to win this race. It's a very short one, and Fittipaldi's already a second behind, and we're already on lap 6 of 11 now. So it's very unlikely she'll win the race, but she could still get 8th if possible. Actually, Liam Lawson is doing a good job of staying in touch with Callie on this start-finish straight. Is he going to try a move down the inside? No, he is not. Maybe he is. Did he look like he went for the move there? Yes, he did, actually. Liam Lawson did go down the inside. Callie may have been passed by another car. This is something we haven't seen very often this year. Lawson's actually giving her a battle. And I'm sure she realizes it. And that's why she won out. And what happened there? The ADRT Porsche has actually gone up to 7th. So Porsche, in all this madness, has got up to 7th class J on Derivla. And it's not going to work well for Prema in the team's championship, because Derivla is now holding on to a solitary point, which is being chased by Frederick Vesti, Callie Mayer, and Liam Lawson in particular. Although, to be fair, Mayer has fallen a second behind Frederick Vesti, so that's good for Prema in terms of Derivla being able to hold on to his point. But of course, Vesti could pass him, so it might not mean much anyway. And Callie is already holding on to the extra point for the fastest lap because she's in 10th. I believe, like I said, the fastest lap point counts even in the sprint race if you finish 10th. So Callie would be getting a point regardless. So glad to see Vesti near the front this weekend. Like I said earlier, he's been pretty much the unlucky one, to be fair. So Fittipaldi is not checked out, I wouldn't have said, but he's definitely out of DRS range for Jack Doohan. It's nice to see Jack Doohan towards the front as well. We've got a nice mixed up grid in this sprint race. It's producing a nice field and some mentionable names towards the front of this one. Doohan, Sargent, Calderon, Callum Williams able to get some more points for Trident, and after Monaco we need it. And we're having Verschoor out of the points. And we need some bit of luck in the feature race to score points as well. Now Liam Lawson, Callie Mayer, this is a battle still going on for 10th place. And Colwell, Yuri Vips, and JQ's here, going over 16th, I believe, because Novalak is a second ahead, I believe. So JQ's has actually moved up a position. And I thought Lawson had dropped to P12 then, but fortunately for him, not quite. It's going to be very difficult for Mayer to pull Vesti in. She's about 1.5 seconds behind him at the moment. So it looks like it's going to be Porsche, Derivla, and Vesti for the final points position. Unless Callie can get on with it. She's already set the fastest lap of this race on lap 4. And no one has really matched it, despite all the DRS these drivers are getting. And Ralph Boschong is at the back of this little train here, headed by Ollie Colwell, which Verschoor is in the middle of. Dennis Hauger, the only retirement so far in this race. Fittipaldi, famous surname, one of the most famous surnames in motorsport. Emerson Fittipaldi, Formula 1 world champion, of course. I think he was world champion twice, or 3 times. I'm not sure, it was one of them. I know from Sebastian's Vettel's time on Grill the Grid, I think it was. And he named every single world champion. And very big congrats to Sebastian Vettel on that one. He definitely is a Formula 1 encyclopedia. He knows what he's talking about. And it's just kind of sad to see him retiring at the end of the year, really. Some say Audi might come calling for him, see if they can persuade him. Because if rumours about Audi are true, they could oh no, it's well, they do. Audi we haven't really talked about this, but Audi did. We will talk about this in our pre-race show for the Grand Prix tomorrow. But of course, if you're in the news, Audi have signed a brand deal partnership with konnersport. Now, konnersport are Grid World Series competitors with the likes of Raven West, and the eagle-eyed amongst you may have noticed that Callie Mayer actually has konnersport on her helmet throughout the year, and it's because she is a konnersport athlete. She doesn't compete in the Grid World Series. Of course, she's taken a different route in motorsport. She's actually gone into Formula 3 and became the Formula 3 champion last year. She's the championship leader today. And it's very interesting, actually, because a lot of you may have noticed that Kali Meyer, as we said earlier, has been added to Audi's development program, and I think over the course of the season that's very much deserved for Kali Meyer. She's opened a lot of eyes in her 2 seasons in motorsport so far. She became an athlete kind of person for konnersport at the end of the Formula 3 season. So she's been running konnersport since the start of this one. And of course, konnersport founder Andrea O'Connor has always stated that Formula 1 is the ultimate dream. So if Kali continues on her trajectory, and maybe both will get into Formula 1 at the same time. She's now on Audi's development program, and her brother is the second driver of that team. So, and I think there was a hit there from Kali. You heard it on the camera there. I think it might be face tire. So she may get away with that, but that was quite a hit on the wall there for Kali. You can definitely tell how hard she's pushing. And I think she is closing the gap to the 2 cars ahead, which would be the ART of Vesti and the Primo Derubula. So maybe Kali in the last couple of laps may be able to get into the points playing from here. But yes, Kali is now part of the Audi driver development program that they started at the beginning of the season. They didn't really announce it until this week, actually, because they had to get it officially started when a driver joined, and Kali was probably the first name on the list. And now it all kind of falls hand in glove with konnersport's partnership with them announced this week, and it'll be starting in 2023, and they'll be known as Audi konnersport for that year. From what we are hearing, it is going to be a year's deal, and everything will be evaluated later. Of course, there is the rumor in question of what will Audi do in 2026. They're already here now, but they were going to come in 2026 and take over the Sauber outfit, which is currently Alfa Romeo at the moment. But now they're already here, what is going to happen? And we'll have to watch this space on this one. Could Kali Meyer actually be one of their drivers? I know it's a long, long way off yet, but she's definitely opened some eyes this season, in Monaco in particular, with over 10 overtakes for the entire weekend, most on the first lap. And she's pretty much on the verge of a point here. She's already passed 12 cars today, starting last, so it's warranted, isn't it? You know, it's not just publicity and PR, which some people may what would the word be? Unfairly put that stigma on Kali Meyer, because right now she's much more than that, and she's going to prove with this move down the inside of Frederick Vesti in the ART car. And will she catch Derubula before the end of the race? We're on the penultimate lap now, and if anyone, like I said, if anyone really puts Kali Meyer in that in the PR category, that's very unfair, because Monaco and even her consistency in Formula 2 this year as a whole has proven that it's much more than that. She's much more than the Jackson family tree, and she's much more than a PR opportunity. This woman is a racer, and she's definitely proved it over the course of this year, and it looks like she's out to do it again and prove it out as well. Oh my word, was she sliding there, Kali Meyer? She was going for the corner, sliding there. It looked like on the camera, maybe the camera made it look worse than it was. But in any case, she's kept in control of her car and still pointing in the right direction. Yes, Kali is now part of the driver academy at Audi. Oh, and there's another blown engine for Ralph Boschung, I believe. That's him out of this race. He was at the back anyway. I think he was fighting with Ollie Caldwell, who's fallen off a cliff as well. He's now 4 seconds behind Cordial. So it always seems to be the last car in the field kind of falling away, sadly. We've not really talked about the front all day. Enzo Fittipaldi has had a comfortable 1.5 second lead over Jack Dewey. Sargent will be on the podium. It was the 4th, Calderon 5th. Honourable mention to Tangent and Calderon. A magnificent job in the Charouz car. Double points for Charouz, by the way, with Fittipaldi and Calderon both scoring. But here, as we approach the final lap, will Kali Meyer get a point? She will get a point regardless, because she does hold the fastest lap so far. but she's going for another one. This would put her another 2 points clear for Shaw and Lawson, who are both non-scoring so far. He's got to pass Vesti before he can even think about trying to chase down Mayer and Daruvula, who have broken the DRS on Vesti behind. Lawson has DRS on Vesti. He's going round the outside. Khalid's going round the inside at the first corner on Daruvula. She is going to give you the space she is inclined to do, which is a car's width, but she's not going to give you any more than that. And she takes P8, and that's going to be another 2 points then for Callie Mayer if she can hold on to this position. And Daruvula, who will have DRS down this straight, I think. Yep. Because the detection point for the second DRS zone is further back. Daruvula was actually in the detection point when they crossed it, of course. Jack Doohan has gained a tenth or two on Enzo Fittipaldi. And as we said, one of the most famous names in motorsport, along with the likes of Schumacher as well. It carries the same weight. And Fittipaldi has been synonymous with motorsport after him. So, of course, Pietro Fittipaldi subbed in for Roman Grosjean in 2020 after a very scary crash for Roman in Sakir, which really boasts testament to the safety of these Formula 1 cars. He was able to walk away. And we are ever so thankful for that. Pietro Fittipaldi doing a very respectable job in the car at that time as well. And I believe he's the brother of Enzo, so he's going to win today. And it's going to be a comfortable win and a double point finish for Sarouz. The Fittipaldi name is back at the top of a Formula 1 event. Enzo Fittipaldi has had this from the front. It doesn't matter if it is from reverse grid pole. A win's a win in Formula 2. And it's ever as coveted as Formula 1, especially for the young drivers at their young ages. Enzo Fittipaldi takes the win comfortably from Jack Doohan. Logan Sargent, a brilliant third. Fourth, Iwasa, and a fantastic fifth for Tatiana Calderon, scoring her first points of the season. But once again, Callie Mayer scores a plethora of passing moves all the way up from last to 8th place, and a point and the extra point for the fastest lap. She steals the headlines from these three at the front again, sadly. But to finish first you must finish, as the great Murray Walker used to say, and Enzo Fittipaldi has accomplished that today with a win in the sprint race. Jack Doohan, a brilliant second, finally getting some good luck this season, and that's the same for Frederick Resti as well. Unfortunately, he fell down to 10th with Callie Mayer on a charge. Callum Williams gets some points on the back on the board for Trident. Callie is there in 8th position, of course, gets the fastest lap point as well, so that's 2 points added to her championship lead. Teo Pourchaire up to 7th as well. I think he started 8th, so he has made a gain of 1 place. And there's the rest of the order for you. It's not as you were, because most people have dropped it. Well, actually, some have actually gained more position than dropped, despite all of Callie's passing moves. But of course, Dennis Hauger and Ralph Bachon very unfortunately out of the race, although Bachon will be classified 2 laps down. Boschok, sorry. So Callie Mayer now up to 12 points ahead of Richard Shaw, 14 ahead of Hauger, who doesn't lose too much despite his retirement. And Liam Lawson now at 26, but of course Liam Lawson was down to 24 because he scored the 2 points for reverse grid pole. So Liam Lawson has pretty much lost nothing to a degree, I guess, but he will most likely win the feature race tomorrow, such as his form at the moment. So Frederick Vesti and Jake Hughes are the last 2 drivers to score in Formula 2. We hope Frederick Vesti can get some points on the board in the feature race thanks to his lofty good position. Dams now, is that 3 or 8 ahead of Kramer? It's probably 8 because Iwasa did score as well. So a great win for Enzo Fittipaldi, brilliant podiums for Jack Doohan, and in particular Logan Sargent. Tatiana Calderon steals some headlines for herself with a brilliant 5th place. But once again, it's about Callie Mayer and the increase of her passing move quota. from last, she finished 8th. Where will she be in the feature race tomorrow? There's only one way to find out. Tune in when Formula 2 returns.